Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to Unity of Command, our little Let's Play series, where we are going for Stalingrad as the Germans in the summer of 1942. So let's go into the second scenario, the last one we just finished shy of a brilliant victory. Let's try to do this time, although I'm very skeptical. So our task is to capture Voronezh, but we shouldn't become entangled over here. We should pivot south and attack along the Don to this secondary victory line. We have 6 turns, 4 for decisive victory and a little bit less, I imagine, for a brilliant victory. We have some air assets, as do the Soviets. So let's find out. Yeah, so it's 3 turns that in which we should capture both of these targets, which is going to be immensely difficult, I imagine. Right, so I've played this once before and it really wasn't that great. So basically, let's have a look at the supply situation. We do have 3 supply sources. Again, the rail line over here do transmit these supply sources. So ultimately, right now, we have an effective range of 4 from our supply sources. And we do have another ability that increases that range, and we can use that every turn. So that does mean that we should basically advance along this rail line. However, our secondary line or target is down here, so we might want to try to cut that off as well. We should also note that the Soviets do have exactly 1 supply source up here in the very northeast, so let's try to capture that as well. There are a couple of rivers. We can't build any bridges this time around, so this is pretty irrelevant for us. Now there is some bad weather and of course a lot of zone of control along these enemy lines. The enemies have dug in all along this front except for this tank division down here, so I think this might be constituting a little bit of a weakness over here. Basically, we can see that the Soviets do have a lot of very strong forces on the front line, backed up by some tanks and some recruits over here, so these little green divisions really aren't that great, and then these guys here do need to recover a little bit. We can also note that these guys up here do have T-34 defenses as well, so they are a little bit stronger, as you would expect, along our main axis of advance. So let's see about that. I think I want to start down here with a punch across here, potentially along this tank. So let's attack him first. That's a very good result. So we suppressed 3 of his strength points. So that might allow us to do a little bit more down here with our infantry. There we go, very good result with our infantry here. So let's try to break through. And we can certainly go ahead with our infantry, push up along this front line. I imagine we could even attack here. But let's bring up our tanks first. So do we want to use our tanks or do we want to use our infantry? I imagine the tanks are going to be a little bit better for this. So let's bring these guys up. Attack over here. That was a good result, although not a brilliant one. Can we get behind him? We can. So I'm tempted to do this. Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's bring up our tank. Let's destroy this guy. We can move up a little bit. Can you move anywhere? You could actually move right into here, so that wouldn't be too shabby, would it? So that might actually mean that we can use this guy to advance a little bit further. Let's try to advance over here, just so we are threatening the Soviet flank here a little bit. So that should basically cut these guys off a little bit from retreat over here, and that I think is a very good thing for us to do. Could advance a little bit more with some of our guys, maybe, I wonder. See, you could get into here. Okay, let's bring up this gentleman to over here. And then see what we can bring to these defenses as well. I'd really like to bring up some of these guys. Well, I think let's bring you over there. And you into here, and I think that should be okay. Right. So, now the main battle though will of course be occurring here, so let's soften up the defenses at least a little bit. Hope that we... Ooh, very good result over there as well. So that's very nice. Can we do any more damage with our infantry? Well, let's try to do that. That was a decent result, I would say. Well, all in all okay. But we haven't been achieving a breakthrough yet. In particular, these guys are still dug in, so we'll have to see about that. Maybe before we go on with this central strike, let's also try to do some strikes up here in the very north to see just how bad or good we are standing over there. The issue is a little bit, all of our guys over here are a little bit bunched up, so I don't want to withdraw our forces too far to the back, so I think there is only a limited degree to which I can do that. Well, this is really the big issue, so I would like to move our guys from the rear to the front to continue our attack, but I really can't move these guys out of the way unless they are completely out of the way, and that's not exactly what I want to do here. So let's try to figure out a way. Well, I think you just need to go back, and then you can come to the front, you can attack over there. You are pushing them back, that's nice, but not quite sufficient. So let's move up our forces, continue our attack. There we go, that was a nice push. So you can now advance over there, and that means our tanks can break through. You can probably overrun these guys, fantastic, and then do some damage against these elite tanks. Good. So very nice breakthrough over here in the north, I would say. Could bring up our motorized division as well. Let's try to see whether we can do more here in the south then, though. Let's move up you. That means you can move down here. Continue this attack. Breach, very good. They are being pushed back. That's also an excellent result. That does mean we can move these guys up forward, destroy that gentleman, and that's brilliant. So we now have a very good breakthrough over here. And we are now facing some tanks. So I would ideally like to bring up our tank division over here and attack. So let's use another air attack just to soften them up. 6 killed in action, very good result. Although we didn't quite manage the breakthrough over there, so that's a little bit disappointing. We can move you up over there, can we? Motorized division can come up all the way, as could these guys. How about this tank division? No, well, you couldn't. This infantry division, though, you could advance. Alright, let's do that. It does expose our rear a little bit, but I do want to push here aggressively, so that we can make sure to encircle these guys potentially. There we go, destroyed. That is indeed very good for us. Can we follow up on that, though, I wonder? Can we completely cut these guys off? It doesn't seem like we can, so that's a little bit... Well, we could with our motorized division. That wouldn't be too shabby. I don't think we can do a meaningful attack with these guys. Yeah, let's come up over here. And we have now encircled this northern part of the front. So that already is very good. And can we do more down here? It certainly seems like we can. Let's attack this guy with some air attacks as well. Not quite enough, not quite enough. Well, we can't advance any of you further down, so let's well bring up these tanks. Could even try to achieve more of a breakthrough over there. Well, I'm mindful that our forces here aren't very strong. And we do need to keep a good force up here just so to prevent these guys from breaking through. I'd rather not lose this rail line, if at all possible. So these tanks, they could really advance deep into enemy lines and start to threaten them. And I think that's the best that we can do. Although we could also come down here. So it really hinges on the question, what can we put up over here in our defense? Well, we can certainly bring up some infantry. And bring you guys over here. How far can you advance? Could get all the way up over here, so that's not too bad then. Right, so let's bring you over there. Get you all the way up over here. And these light tanks can come up this way. Very good. So these guys up here, they are all Romanian, sorry, Hungarian, so they aren't exactly the greatest at defending in this scenario. As all of the German allies, they are a little bit so-so really, so don't want to overly rely on these guys. Wow, we could have actually moved in here with our infantry. Could also move up. No, we can't actually move up with these guys, so that does mean I'll bring this infantry over, and then again we'll move these tanks up. We could move them up all the way over here. It'll probably trigger some of the Russians to try to encircle us. But I don't think that would be too bad, because we haven't actually lost anyone, so we don't need to get supply every single turn. So that's going to be okay. Ooh, we can also move up our motorized division, although that doesn't seem that useful. Would trigger these guys to attack my motorized spearheads. Huh, yeah, but I don't think that's required. Right, so other than that, everyone has moved. Well, you haven't. But you can't advance actually any further into there, so that's alright. We are not getting any reinforcements. We could buy some reinforcements, but that would cost us points, and I think I'd rather like to save them. So let's end turn over here and see what the Soviets are going to do. Okay, so they are attacking into here. They're probably going to change out some of these divisions. They are attacking our very weak Hungarian infantry, and they will achieve a breakthrough over here, which they're going to exploit immediately. It's not the end of the world yet, because we do have another supply source up here, but we will need to re-establish this line at some point. Look at the AI building a blocking force over here. Also note that most of these guys are out of supply, so that is interesting to me. But they have re-established themselves. But they are still out of supply, so that's good to see. But they are attacking us, and they are doing some tremendous damage against our tanks. 3 tank points lost. That's really bad. One killed in action over there. And some movement up here just on the defensive line. Interesting. Yeah, withdrawing over there, that's actually a very clever move. Can we attack into here and get them next turn? I kind of don't believe that. We would need to break through over here and through these guys. We are very much out of supply up here in the north. Well, I think the most important bit is to re-establish ourselves down here. Okay, so let's use one of our air attacks on this one. Just one killed in action and we lost a lot more. It's no good. Another loss. We can't even go back. Can you even come here? Yes, you could. Okay, let's move you guys all up a little bit. You're coming here. Really? We're not doing any damage over here. And look at this. The Hungarian infantry just wouldn't be able to do anything. Still. How can you be so bad at this? Finally. Yeah, but we're still not sure that they won't be able to break through over here next turn. Yeah, I think this wasn't the greatest turn for us. Really not that great. Right, what else can we do though? So I think it would be good to come up here, cut these guys off, and then move up with our tanks and other divisions to sort of this area up here. Should try to cut them off. These guys would be really good at destroying tanks. Overrun, that's very good. Destroyed, very good. Good result over there. That's at least encouraging. And our tanks here, well, you could sort of weaken them at least. 40% chance of overrunning them and being able to have another attack. Only 20% chance here. Okay, let's do it. Destroyed, overrun, very good. Another attack, 3 killed. Very, very good result. Bring up our motorized division. Overrun these guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the overrun. So that is unfortunate. Let's try to keep the pressure up on the front. Overrun there, that's nice. But we don't actually have anyone close to us. So that's a little bit wasted. And then try to bring up the infantry to the front line. You could get into here. Well, where can you actually go? So you can go over here. Let's attack. 1 killed each, so that's interesting. You could potentially come up over here. Do more damage there. That's good. Move you up. Okay, we'll probably lose this unit, but it doesn't matter that much. Still no kill on this guy. That's amazing. Just the resilience there. Okay, we'll need to make sure that we aren't cut off. We actually need the rail line, otherwise our supply situation will be horrible. And this is kind of a mess down here, so... we still do have a lot of air attacks. I should have used them maybe up here a little bit more. You know what, I think it does make perfect sense to attack this elite unit here. 3 supplies? Yes. Suppressed. That's very good. Yeah, I don't mind taking... ooh. 3 further suppressed. Very, very good result. 2 killed in action over there. 4 killed in action. Yeah, but we really need to take the hexes, the problem. Okay, let's move up the tanks, destroy them, overrun them. That's a nice result. Yeah, so now we have everything. That's okay then. But we still need to be mindful of our rear. That being said, I would like to bring up my motorized division to attack these tanks. Let's use our last air attack on this one. Well, decent damage. Not brilliant, but decent. Right, and then we're going to try to get these guys up over here. Do more damage against these guys who are encircled. And just keep up the pressure. That's all I really want to do over here. 2 killed. Destroyed, very nice. Okay, over here we really do need a little bit more defense on this front, but right now the supply situation is actually pretty good. I mean, ideally we would be able to take on these guys here as well, but well, we just aren't right now. Right, let's increase the strength of this supply source, and then we have to see what we can do up over here. So you'd be just crossing via that route. You know what, that's fine. Destroyed, overrun, very nice. So that does mean our guys here can break through. Destroyed, nice. That does leave very limited attack patterns. Could try to kick these guys out, but we don't actually need to. Destroyed, overrun. Some good damage there. Good. All in all, good. I'm mostly worried about this guy now. And of course our ability to strike very far into their lines. So you could have... well, but we really need to make sure, don't we? Do we need to make sure that this line stays intact? Otherwise, yes, otherwise we will be losing our supply. So I actually do think that we do need to come in here. Although I'm not too sure that this guy alone will be able to beat back someone. Well, but you can move in pretty unmolested. Okay, there we go. That's alright. You still might be able to go here. You definitely would be able to go here. And that wouldn't be great. So we'll actually have to pull back a little bit over here. Just to keep the rail line protected. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Happy with this result. Can you attack? You could. Let's do it. Not the greatest attack, but still, again, keeping up the pressure, I think is fine. Good. So I don't think there's anyone who can attack. Can you attack? Alright. That's fine. Good. Next turn. Oh, damn it. This is really bad. Does mean our supply sources are nearly cut off. Certainly these guys will be out of supply. Yeah, they are already. It's not great. On the other hand, these guys are completely out of supplies. So that's great. And again, our spearheads are being attacked. Not quite as bad a result this turn though. Right. Let's see what we can do down here. Start out with these guys. Destroyed, nice. Destroyed, overrun, good. Right, and you really should be able to take them out. You are, very good. So that does leave the question, can we... I think we just won't be able to take out these targets this turn. Just doesn't seem feasible. We will continue to push here though. Just how far can I get you though? How far can you go? Okay, so you can come up over here into their rear. Weaken them, so that means you guys are basically out of... There's no issues, what I'm trying to say, with you attacking. You can't go here, and well, that's the zone of control of this guy. This guy does have a zone of control as well. Okay, who here has still attacks left? You do. As do you. One killed in action. Destroyed. Good. Bring you to here. You don't have a zone of control anymore. Okay, let's bring you up. Attack. Are you weak now? Yes, you are. That's good. So we do need to take out this gentleman down here. And we do have a very good possibility of doing this. So that's great. Come here, interesting. You can go further though. Nice. Good result. Very good result. So who's actually our weakest unit down here now? Who can attack into here? Can anyone come here? The motorized division can. So... well, I guess we're gonna go here. Capture this turn. That's great. Over here, I don't think this is viable at all. But we will have to see. Okay, so who can we bring up then? Well, firstly maybe here. Try to do what we can. And down here. Huh. Yeah, these Hungarian troops are just so weak. It's incredible. Okay, but now our supply lines at the very least are safe. So yeah, let's think about what we can bring to bear over here in the north. So firstly, you can't really go any that far. You can go. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake. You're considered weak. bring you up over here so that we are threatening their supply lines. And I think that's going to work quite nicely for us. You could come over here, but that place is already occupied. This guy really isn't the best, so... Okay, let's bring you over here. Destroy, attack, very nice. Good. Yeah, but none of our infantry can really reach in a meaningful fashion over here. So it just has to be these guys. That was good. Yeah, so we'll have to think about these guys. Increase our supply range. You already attacked even. Let's bring you over here so other guys can get in. If you even dug in, which really isn't great. Right, you can't even attack because you're out of supply. Yeah, so we'll definitely not be able to do anything this turn. Destroyed, overrun. Destroyed, overrun. Destroyed, overrun. Tanks can be so great in this game. Destroyed, overrun. Tanks can be a fantastic tool. Yeah, but we'll not be able to achieve a brilliant victory simply because our infantry is way too far behind for them to do any meaningful attack across this river over here. Well, we do have a lot of attacks. Attack here first. No attacks left down here, are there? Well, can do an attack down here. Yeah, but again, we don't really have anyone who's capable of attacking over here, so let's wait on that for a second. Okay. Ooh, you still have attacks. Interesting. Could not have brought you over here. Could I? No, I don't think so. Destroyed, overrun, destroyed, overrun. Come up to here. Destroyed, overrun. Yeah. Nothing else we can do. Too bad. I would really would have loved to get a brilliant victory over here. Maybe we should have reinforced someone. But we do need to take them next turn though. This is a heart attack. Okay. This is our target here though. Not doing that much damage with our air attacks. City in ruins, that's not actually good. Overrun, breach, they are withdrawing, brilliant, let's move in. Taken on turn 4, that's just a decisive victory. We could have spent something. I mean, we have lost a little bit of prestige because we just weren't able to take this, and we could have maybe invested in some recon or engineers, but you know what, I'm gonna be happy with this result. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when we are going for Case Blue, which actually I think is the name of the entire operation, where we'll be trying to push further on towards Stalingrad. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do like, do subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.